Brian, thank you for your time as always. Just start by getting your reactions first to the Challenge Cup draw against Widnes. What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, it's great to be back involved in the Challenge Cup. It's every year has its own different story. Really excited about it once again, and we know more than most teams how difficult a challenge it is to go over to Widnes and get a result there. So, you know, we'll start preparing pretty soon for that one, and we know it'll be a tough ask.
How much onus do you put on the Challenge Cup this season?
Yeah, a lot. A lot was. It's one of our strong points of the season. You know, our sports strong point of the season, and the Challenge Cup final is such a big event, very entertaining. You know, brilliant experience to be involved with, and it's something that the players certainly look forward to every year.
Before that, obviously you've got Hockey up next. Team-wise, how are things looking?
Yeah, okay, pretty same really. Brad Singleton's recovered from an ankle injury, so he'll feature back in the team. Somebody will move out the team for him, but you know, we're pretty much going to feel the same team. And the team's in good shape. We're looking forward to playing at OKR. You got to travel over there, and regardless what form they're in or what form we're in, it's you've got to get that right. You know, travelling to OKR and the game day over there. So looking forward to the challenge. We've had a couple of tight performances just recently, a couple of tight games, gone on the wrong end of the scores. But the team's in good shape, healthy. You know, their eyes are up, and they're looking forward to this fixture. Just
on Brad, how important is it for you that you've got him back?
Well, given that we've been missing a lot of big men for such a long period of time, you know, he's been the lone soldier almost on occasions, doing a lot of game time, and it was one of those. If he hadn't have had the ankle injury, I'd have been considering whether to stand him down for a week anyway, because just week in, week out, you know, playing 50, 60, sometimes 70 minutes most weeks. Most weeks having to do 40 minutes as a straight stint, which he can do, but you know, in the position that he plays, and you know, the amount of contact and heavy work that he's got to get through, he started to look a little bit jaded. So it's great to have him back. He's a smart on-field player, Brad, and you know, his best years are ahead of him. Yet he's right now is such an important part for us.
With Stevie Ward coming off as well, is that just a precautionary thing with him?
Stevie Ward, sorry, what?
Stevie Ward picked up a little bit of a knock. Did he last game come off with that?
Yeah, he twisted something. I can't even remember what it was then at the time. But once again, Stevie Ward had played 60 odd minutes up until that point, and it was there's just no need to push a player carrying something, you know, in a game as tight and you know, and as the collisions as heavy as it was against Hull last week. So he'll be all right this week.
Sure. Looking at Hockey next, then you've had a little bit of a break. How refreshed are the players going into this one?
No, they're good. They're good. It was last Thursday that we played, you know, a week ago, and we've still got another few days to prep. And we're just in that part of the season now. We chew through games, and another game comes up, and you've got to chew through it, and you want to be winning games, but at the same time, you know, you want to be constantly improving as well. So the season will start to bite on a few teams soon, and you know, you hope that your squad's healthy. You hope they've got your numbers in your squad. You haven't got too many on the sideline for this middle part of the season almost. And you know, the players are keen. The players know what we're capable of, and we've showed signs already this year of being a really tough team to beat. And showed signs this year of having some fantastic attack over the next few games, the next 6 weeks. We'd like to see some of that gel together, and you know, we start getting some consistency, which has been hard to do with the amount of injuries that we've had.
Yeah, because you have been close in recent games, even though they've not quite gone your way. The performances overall, would you say they've been positive in the main?
Well, the games have been close, and you might argue, and I think you would have a good argument if you say on some of them we shouldn't have been in the game, really, with the amount of people that we've had out and some of the starts that we've had to games. Yet we've found a way to get back in it. There's some real good signs. There's some elements of steel and resilience about the group, which, you know, I could tell you that was there already, but you've got to see that yourselves. But that won't be enough. you know, and being brave and coming back from scores down and putting on a brave performance won't be enough, you know, although they are very encouraging signs right now. As I've already said, we'll need to start over the next 6-7 weeks, start to show signs of being consistent in attack and managing games better than what we have been. I thought against Hull we didn't manage the game to start with. Against Wigan the week before we didn't finish the game with great game management. So things that are easily fixed up, but you don't want to be saying it too often, too many weeks.
From the last time we played Hull at Ellen Road, what did you learn about them?
Well, under their coach especially, they like to attack, they like to use the ball. It's never 5 drives and a kick. And with Magsy on the field, they'll play to some consistency, but with Magsy on the field, he'll sneak down a short side Magsy and he'll go off script every now and again, which is really hard to defend against and can be the difference at times.
Are you expecting a different side now they're going to be playing this one at Craven Park?
Yeah, for sure. I'm expecting a more experienced side. You know, that was their second or third game back in Super Leagues. You know, and they'd had a recruitment overhaul, and Magsy will be working better with the squad. They'll be working better with him. There'll be certain individuals that are new to their team that are now have got another, 11 games under their belt since we last played them. So there'll be a better version of the team that we played at Ellen Road. Yeah.
And just finally as well, it's interesting to hear your comments about refereeing decisions in recent weeks. And a lot of coaches seem to agree with you as well. So what do you think could be done to maybe make the game easier on the eye?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think a lot of people misunderstand what I'm trying to say, and I've been shown a couple of pieces that have been written as a result of what I said, and I think some people just don't get the point I'm trying to make, and the point I'm trying to make is referees shouldn't be duped by players trying to milk penalties, and it's not a good part of our game. It's not healthy for the game, and it doesn't condition players to get ready for a long haul battle, which towards the back end of the year, that's what games are like. And in the internationals, which we all aspire to be better at, the long haul battle, the amount that the ball's in possession, the amount of play the balls that are featured in those international games is way higher than most Super League games. And one of the reasons that they play the balls are not as high is because referees blow penalties for some players that try to milk those penalties. I saw a piece saying that Steve Ganson's reaction to it was that coaches coach it, and he knows that players are out there trying to milk those penalties, so I'm wrong. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. And what my advice would be, well, don't award those penalties that you think where the players milking them. Highlight those players, put them on a watch list each week, and then if you watch enough games, you'll know that there are a certain amount of players who get awarded more penalties than any other players, and some of those are a result of players trying to milk the penalties. What I'm saying is just don't award those penalties, and at some stage the player will stop doing it.
That's great. Thank you for clearing it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just looking at your squad, Brian, the longer term injury, how close are we to seeing Nate Peteru, Liam Sutcliffe and Mitch Garbutt back, and Jack Walker?
Nathan Peteru is available right now, but has been out for such a number of weeks. He's likely to feature with Featherstone this week. Mitch Garbutt's going to be another at least 6 weeks away with the drill in at his knee. Liam Sutcliffe, who had a reoccurrence of the foot injury, possibly about another 4 or 5 weeks from now. And Jack Walker is just in that frustrating part of his injury where it's plateaued out a little bit. So made some recoveries from his ankle injury, but it just seems to be staying at the same stage. He's noting some improvement, but for him, he said it's not fast enough, and he's getting frustrated. But there's nothing you can do with that. You know, we're not going to strap him up and send him back out there because you're running the risk of longer injury. So there's some frustrating times for all, you know, certainly for 3 of those players.
In terms of your squad, was it important that you were smart with them since the Hull FC game? 2 defeats by a narrow margin, but still giving them some time off to refresh after that, particularly that Easter period.
Yeah, we did a long weekend off, and there's no reason to not do that. Physiologically, you know, how tired the players are, what the bodies are like, not what the mental state's like. I think that's more important at this stage of the year. I've already highlighted that the players' mental state is good. It's, you know, everybody realises there's a really good version in us that's just around the corner, and we're just going to make sure at this stage of the year you're managing bodies and any knee-jerk reaction to losses. That's all it is a knee-jerk reaction, and it'd be foolish at this stage to bring them in when they've already been planned to have a day off just because we've lost by a couple of points. Frustrating for everybody to see, and frustrating for us. You know, we feel it more than most. But to make sure that we can get ready for the next game and be positive and have your eyes up and be really keen for the next game, rather than fearing, well, we better play well or she'll call another day off. You know, scratch another day off that we've got planned. It's probably makes you feel good as a coach, but it's not good coaching.
You already mentioned about your comments last week regarding the players milking penalties. Was there an element within your own mind that this could come back to backfire on your own side, that we were kind of extra scrutiny?
The answer to that's yes, and I think that would pretty much answer a question. Well, why aren't more coaches saying things? I think most coaches, and rightly so, fear highlighting bigger issues in the game. It's not a whinge, you know, and I shouldn't have used the words I'm going to go on a whinge here at Hull, but that was me being a bit facetious. I was just highlighting something I think is a problem with our game in general. Take a real step back, and where would our game be in 5-10 years time? And I would hope that our game's still not being influenced by crowds. I don't think it should be influenced by crowds now. I don't think any officiating should be influenced by crowds. And I don't think a player on the field should have a relationship with their home crowd that they know that if they was to wiggle around on the floor to such a degree, that the crowd then get involved and start shouting and baying for a penalty, and it influences the referees. It does influence the referees, in my experience. I think most coaches won't highlight things like that, just in case for the next few weeks you get an adverse effect or an adverse attitude from a referee towards the coach or the coach's team who's mentioned it. I'm willing to withstand all that. I think I would hope it doesn't. I would hope the referees don't go out there and be belligerent and try and prove me wrong, or try and prove a point wrong, or I certainly know we won't get the other side of the coin where they'll go easy on us. That won't happen. That's not why I made mention it. I'm not after any favours from referees, but I do hope it doesn't have any adverse effect. I'll be interested to see what the numbers say over the next few weeks as to whether it does or not.